I just had a little back and forth with that Redskins name change video on Instagram with this woman. She follows me, and she's a real sweetheart. Native American heritage, you know. And she was saying, "Oh, it's the first time I have to disagree with you," and because a lot of her friends agree with the name change, right? Because their rationale on it is they're sick and tired of seeing drunken whitey, you know, tomahawk chopping, and she's right, man. I get that 100%. Okay, you know, a couple weeks ago, some guy I know is an older guy who was in the Navy, a Vietnam vet friend of mine. He's a client, kind of a friend. And the Stone Mountain thing came. I said, "I think we should tear that down." And I'm like, "Well, I don't." And he's like, "Well, I figured that. I expected that response from you." And you know, sad face with the tears. Hey, I'm a contrarian. I'm a contrarian for a reason. I don't go along. I don't go along with what everybody else is going along with on purpose. Because people just fall into lockstep with shit emotionally, you know. I want the dialogue. You learn from the dialogue. You learn from hearing an opposing point of view. Just because I support leaving up monuments that offend some people or keeping a name, that doesn't make me a racist. That doesn't mean I support all the negative things that you see. Right? You see that monument, you hear that name, and it triggers all these visions in your mind of what you think people are like who agree with it. I'm not that guy. I just like seeing it because it's important. It's important to have that. You should be offended on a regular basis. We should be offending each other all the time. You know why? Because it toughens us up as human beings. Every time you see a monument that you personally deem offensive, let's say you got a kid, you know what that is? That's a teaching moment. You get to be a teacher right there. But you should always kind of take both sides with everything. You know, you don't want to program your kids. I remember during the Bush years, I remember seeing on Larchmont this lady with her kid going, "George Bush is an idiot," like trying to the kid's like 2 years old. I've seen people do this. That is crazy. That's crazy. You got your kid with you in tow? Little Johnny? Little Johnny's with you? "Hey, Mommy, what's that all about?" "Well, little Johnny, that guy right there, you know, he did these things for the country, but, you know, he also owned slaves and blah, blah, blah." And you get to tell little Johnny the story. But you should also tell little Johnny, "Now, look, this is just my opinion based on what I know. I may or may not be 100% right. That's just how I feel about it. And remember, little Johnny, feelings are unreliable. You may one day meet somebody a lot smarter than I am and give you a different perspective on it. But at least you had the discussion. Now little Johnny knows something, you know. But little Johnny should always know you don't know everything." You hear what I'm saying? Imagine a world with no monuments. Imagine a world with no names that are offensive. What happens then? You think that's going to bring about a utopian society? You ever see the film The Time Machine? I think it's 1960, I think it was. I have a friend of mine, he's a badass. He was an extra in that. He's one of the Eloi, those blonde-haired people that don't really speak much, and the food is provided for them, and they don't think, and they're just basically food for the ogres that live underground. That's the society that's being created right now. Wake the fuck up. Wake up. I'm not going to be an Eloi, you know what I'm saying? Look, those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it. If they strip all the history away, then within a short period of time, they program a whole generation with nonsense, and then they get them to believe more nonsense that we've already proven doesn't fucking work. But we got to keep repeating this bullshit all over again. I've said it before. Hard times bring about tough people. Tough people create good times. Good times result in soft people. Soft people create hard times all over again. Because they keep forgetting their past. Because we get to this point where academics come along and say, "Well, yeah, we shouldn't be hurting people's feelings. Let's take this away." And we got to repeat it all over again. Let's break the cycle. Break the cycle. It's okay to talk about things you find offensive. It's good to be offended. It's good to be offended. I said it. Toughen up, man. You all come from people who killed somebody. There's not a person alive on the planet today who, if it was possible to take your DNA and put it in a machine that could play all the memories and life experiences that took place in your personal bloodline, not a person alive today who doesn't come from somebody who murdered somebody or killed another person. That's just a fact, all right? So toughen up. Start loving one another. Start being honest with yourself and one another. And keep telling the truth. It's okay. That's it. Have a good day. Bye.